Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dinner and a Game. Tonight we have something very special tonight, but I am not your GM. Our lovely GM is Dennis tonight, and Dennis will be running through us a charity TTRPG event for LH Project Hope. But I am Madness Diamond. I use they, she pronouns, and I will be playing a Haunter tonight. Dennis?
Hell yeah! Thank you so much for having me on the channel. I am beyond excited to tell this story in the world of Pokemon in the apocalypse. That is our pitch for this game. We'll get into it in a little bit, but I think first we got to go around the table and do some introductions. I am Dennis. You can find me on the internet at okayest__DM. I got a YouTube channel that sort of died off because I like doing stuff on other people's channels more. And that's why I'm here. And I'm super excited. I have also been working for the last couple years on the system we are using, SAGAS, which stands for Setting and Genre Agnostic System. It is coming out for publication, hopefully in the next month or so. And once it is out, it will be pay what you want to download. We are super, super proud of it. We a year ago raised almost $10,000 to make this thing come to life, and it is so very close to coming to fruition. We are using that system to play in the world of Pokemon tonight. Um, it was myself and Mika from Roll D5, if you know them. Super cool person. We worked together to write this supplement to play in the world of Pokemon. So, without further ado, let's get some introductions underway, starting with JoJo. Who are you and who are you playing?
Oh, me? Okay. Hi friends, I'm Jojo. I am playing a Marowak who is named Tibby. As far as who I am and what I do, I am a cultural anthropologist with an emphasis on ethnographic field methods. And I use that in my storytelling and TTRPGs. So I'm on Melon and Mythos, which is a BIPOC world building podcast where we invite people on. I help out at Apochromatic Unlimited. Um, I'm in some charity streams. I'm in Castleton and also Somebody's Heroes podcast, which is a multi-party podcast, D&D podcast. So I do stuff. I do stuff. But tonight, no thinking. Tonight, I am playing Tibby with my skull helmet. So that's who I am tonight. No thinking. I am Tibby.
It's going to be a
um,
great time.
and I'll
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. And I'll pass it over to Shannon.
Hello, beautiful souls. I am Shannon. You can find me all over the internet at ImagineIf. I also host ImagineIf Media on Twitch and YouTube, where we support all those who create, play, and heal. I host a creator spotlight over there. So if you're doing some cool stuff on the internet, then I want to have you on so we can talk about it. We can tell everybody else what you're doing and all that cool stuff. I'm also playing Raven on superhero shenanigans over at Don't Kill My Character. And I'm all over the place doing all sorts of things. So thanks for having me tonight. I love doing the charity stuff. So looking forward to digging into some Pokemon nonsense. And I am playing Flareon, which hopefully you could guess. Otherwise, my cosplay absolutely sucks. And I am called Sparks. Yeah. So cool.
Brilliant. And since we already heard from our regular here on the channel, I will pass it over to Sam.
Hello, I am Classic Sam NYGM. I am a professional game master and apparently absolutely out of her mind today because, running around like a crazy person is always fun. So, but you can find me in a bunch of different places, specifically on my channel where I interview some amazing people in the TTRPG, gaming, game developing, actor, cosplay space, because the mission is to let everyone know what we do to take over the world. Yeah. Um, It's fine. I also am also on Castleton and on my friend's Justin's channel, so you want to be a GM, where I play some characters over there. You can find me in a bunch of different places, but follow me around. Oh, that's
Oh
right. I'm
yeah.
playing
Oh yeah.
Vaporeon. Yeah, that one. The water
Vaporeon,
one.
one of my favorites from when I was a kid. All right. As a reminder, we are indeed raising money for charity tonight. So this is a part of the ChariTTRPG's project, raising money for LA Project Hope. Started on Tuesday, January 7th. Multiple deadly wildfires had spread across Los Angeles. Hundreds of thousands had been ordered to evacuate, with also hundreds of thousands facing evacuation warnings. Project Hope is providing PPE, hygiene kits, bedding supplies, mental health care, and other aid to shelters, healthcare workers, marginalized communities, first responders. They're also helping clinics with their surge staffing to alleviate the pressure on the evacuated health workers and supporting emergency logistics and debris clearance for search, rescue, and recovery. So by visiting our Tiltify link and making a donation, you are supporting Project Hope's wildfire emergency effort. And it looks like I'm lagging. Am I lagging?
Yeah,
Now
just
am
for a
I done
sec.
lagging?
Your pic. Yes, you're good now.
Okay,
Looks good.
great. So we do have a Tiltify donation link that was just posted in chat. This every dollar raised goes straight to Project Hope. There are also, in addition to supporting our fundraiser, you can visit our team's tabletop charity auction that has items like dice, art, miniatures, and more for you to purchase, with all that money going to Project Hope. So very much to everyone who will be able to donate this evening. I am very excited to start running this game. And it's well, let's get started. So if we're ready to dive in, we will. It has been 50 years, unless I'm still lagging. Is my internet doing dumb things tonight of all nights? Okay, great. Okay, diving in. It has been 50 years since the bombs fell. The humans are all gone. The Pokemon that they had on them at the time, missing. 90% of the Pokemon in the wild have passed on, and the remaining 10% have mutated from the radiation through their own generations. Now, 50 years later, the world is covered in a winter wasteland as this fallout has plunged the globe into another ice age. We see a long abandoned and forgotten Pokemon Center. Most of its walls have collapsed, its ceiling entirely caved in, offering little to no shelter to any animals and Pokemon around. And there is a computer in the corner by the two remaining walls that is still standing. And as we zoom in, a light on the screen starts blinking. Boop, boop, boop. And all at once, several white lines eject from a compartment on this computer, and they all become brilliantly glowing silhouettes as they take shape, and we begin to introduce our characters as they are spit out from box storage into this wasteland. The first to finish taking form is a Flareon. Shannon, please describe what your character looks like as they emerge in this wasteland.
So I pop out pretty excited. I think it's been like a minute since I've been put inside there. And I typical Flareon look, except I actually haven't been quite contained, I guess. A little bit leakage has come through because the tail is a little bit more sporadic. It's a little bit more sparkly, I guess, as you come in, and uh, very much looks like a hot ember in colors all around. A little bit brighter reds, less oranges, brighter yellows, kind of coming throughout, and just pops out like, okay, where we're going, that kind of thing, and looks around to see what's there.
Next to you, another white silhouette takes shape, much larger than you, as a haunter takes form. Diamond, please describe for us what your character looks like.
The haunter that slowly starts materializing and putting themselves back together after coming out of this dormant state in this Pokebox is the typical look of a haunter, but this one might have a little outfit on that you would usually see in the before times on a Clefairy. Notably, a little nurse's hat, and even just a little stethoscope that looks like it's had a little bit of wear and tear on it. Um, and this haunter seems to float and then immediately notice that it's not alone, not seeing its trainer or anybody it recognizes. It immediately goes and hides. Just wanting to go hide behind something. Probably the back of the box that it came out of. It's a
You
very timid haunter.
quickly duck behind the storage computer. We see
Yes.
the screen blinking again, and now there's text on it. It says, "Box storage system failed. Emergency release complete." And another silhouette of brilliant white light dims and another form takes shape as we see a Vaporeon, cat-like, standing in the snow. Sam, please describe what your character looks like.
Uh, so my Vaporeon, she comes out and she's just like standing in the snow and kind of a little annoyed that her tail seems to have like frozen a little bit from touching, like when water touches ice, it just kind of like touch and freeze. So gives a little shake, um, and seems very much disoriented and like not quite sure um why they are not someplace underwater and safe. They feel very exposed and lonely in a weird way. They don't understand why they were put here or how they got here, or they were supposed to come out sooner than this, but it seems like a long time.
And as you look around, you make eye contact with someone from your own evolutionary tree, another former Eevee in Flareon. And so almost right between the two of you, our final characters. Jojo, please describe what your character looks like.
Uh, Tivy is a Marowak, so he is green He is green and kind of like lizard colored. He has an angular, sharp um, helmet on him that is like it appears to be worn towards the front on the forehead a little bit. It appears to be made of kind of like it appears to be like a worked kind of stone, like very polished. Um, he carries with him a uh a bone club that's about half his body length, and he's got a little green triangle tail. And he looks like did he come from the box or was he outside?
You can't really tell.
Yeah,
You look
I don't
around and you appeared to have maybe come with the box because
I
everyone here is
he
looking around like they don't know what just
yeah,
happened.
yeah.
So as the four of you
I
stand here, what are you thinking?
Mm. It seems like Vaporeon's kind of looking around and like not understanding like one, it's cold, um, and although water is cold, this seems like unnaturally cold, and she doesn't like it. But also, um, the urge to like get closer to something or someone to not feel so alone is very very strong. Um, and she starts to like creep toward the others. Preferably the
Yeah.
Flareon because that's Eevee.
Yeah, I think Sparks is actually doing that, like, not immediately freaked out, but definitely aware that there's no trainer here, that brought me back out. Um, but I think because I was in storage, maybe I kind of came in and out and I didn't have the same trainer all the time. So there's not that much of a connection with a person, but I still haven't quite realized that there isn't a person there. There's just all these Pokemon. Um, but I think I would just be really excited. So I would kind of like just go towards all you. Where we how did how, did you just pop out too?
I remember, I remember, um, I remember like, my trainer put me in the box and said just that they would be right back, and then I was in the box and it was really warm and steamy and wet and it was fine, and then um, I got really sleepy, and then I woke up somewhere one time and it was dark and I was like hoping my trainer come back and they didn't, and then I was here.
You you look like you're a little cold.
I don't like the hard water. The hard water, it's making my tail stick, and I don't like that. And it's not very comfortable.
Flareon's just gonna kind of like hold the hands out and flame like a little fire, basically, and just be still. But also like a little shy and kind of, but then notice that they're being shy, so kind of like stand up a little bit. If anybody's cold,
Vaporeon is gonna like realize like we'll see like the ice around Flareon is kind of like melting, and so she's that she sees the water and kind of like makes like a beeline for the melted ice, like, and tries to like almost cat like, you know how cats kind of go through your legs, try to do one of those things.
We get this adorable moment of Vaporeon warming themselves, nuzzling up against Flareon's flame to melt the ice off their tail.
I'll tell you what happened. The world went and ended. I was there in the white void, banging my head, for I'd found the edge wall, and I was bang, 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 right here in my noggin, right? And I heard the world shatter, right? I heard bang, boom, pow, and then I heard screaming and the building break. And I tried to get out, and I just always with the bang, bang, bang. And then I must have headbutted so hard that the wall finally gave out and released. The machine broke, so that was maybe me banging away. Um, so
Are you, are you okay?
what? I don't even remember how I got out here.
I remember the little banging, I think, but I got like squished around in the box, and then it was quiet, and then there was no noise, and then I went back to sleep.
I think I've only been in for like a minute. And I'm gonna like kind of turn. Do I notice Haunter like hiding, or are you just completely hidden away?
I'm gonna say, Haunter, please make a check to see how hidden you can get behind this computer that's smaller than you.
That's the cutest image ever.
While the two EVs were warming up to each other, and while Tibby was, or the two evolutions, and while Tibby was talking, I think once Tibby started talking about headbutting and begging, the Haunter would like to sneak around to try to check on Tibby to make sure Tibby's okay. Can I make a stealth roll?
Make a check. And so in Sagas, for our players and for our audience, Sagas is a roll low system, so you want as low a number as possible. And when I say make a check, you'll look at your character sheet and determine if anything on it could possibly apply. If so, it'll tell you what size of die to roll. And then if they're aware of you, they will be able to help and give you advantages on that roll in different ways. But what did Haunter get to sneak up behind Marowak, behind Tibby without being noticed? 3?
Rolled a 3 because I have the trait soft-footed, which that means I roll a d8 for stealth checks.
Yeah, it
Very
helps to not
sneaky.
have feet.
I do not have feet.
Fair point. Fair point.
Tibby, please also roll a check to see if you notice.
Okay. Cool.
Just to see if you notice.
Yeah. With D10.
Unless your character sheet says otherwise, yeah, it'll be a
No.
D10.
No. It's a 4.
You have no idea that there's an enormous ghost in the most adorable nurse costume right behind you. And as this Haunter sneaks up, the evolutions are both like looking directly behind you.
And so you never know what we best take great care, because you never know what to be wandered in this land and what's transpired now that were what why are you gesturing like that?
Okay, there's somebody, there's right there behind you.
As Tibby turns around, Haunter reaches out with the end of the stethoscope and just puts it on your forehead.
Sick.
Aw.
There's like a little dink as metal hits bone.
Yeah. Sick. Uh, I think I don't know if you have like any extra aptitude, but Tibby has memory problems. Okay. All right, Tibby has memory problems. Is if you were to deduce anything, um, and he'll go, oh, oh, I think I must have been banging my head a bit too long.
Do you require medical care?
Oh, oh, no, no. Oh no, I think I'm quite hearty actually. I think I'll be all right. Um, but are are you from are you from around here? Do you know the area? Since you seem familiar.
I lived here with Nurse Joy. We worked here. It was nice. Nurse Joy's gone. It's okay. I'm here to take care of you now. It is my job. And whenever this haunter vocalizes, you notice that they're trying to make their pitch higher to that of a Clefairy. Because if you ever listen to the way that Haunter says their name, it's in a deeper tone. But whenever Clefairy says it, they say it in a sing-song, which is very unusual for a Haunter's behavioral things.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
It's something I'll give everybody because it's fun.
Interesting. Interesting.
I think Sparks is just like enamored with both of you, thinking that you are so like worldly, and I'm just like, okay, we're like I've already taken the follower role. I'm just kind of like in awe of the two of you. I'm not really saying anything. I'm just kind of sitting there like looking up.
It's funny because I'm a crazy person inside a ball for 50 years and didn't go to
I know.
school. It's
I
amazing.
know. Yeah.
Sick. Sick.
I love it.
Oh God. Okay. Um.
Incredible.
Um,
Okay.
excuse me, floaty person thing. Um, my tail is really cold and sore. It was stuck to the hard water, and it has a, a um it hurts, and 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 you said that you help, and can you look at my tail?
I can certainly try. I do not have a healing technique, but I can make do. And Haunter will float over Vaporeon and kind of just hover and do the same thing with the stethoscope, just kind of like not even touching, just hovering it. And you seem to notice that Haunter's attention is tracked by the stethoscope, is tracking the stethoscope to kind of just pay closer detail because they have to be precise in their job because they're not very good at their job. They're not a Clefable. They're not a Clefairy. They weren't trained like the other ones where they don't have a healing technique, so they have to make do with trying to just look it over. And they just use soft words and soft vocalizations of asking how it hurts, why it hurts, when it hurts. Does it hurt when you move a certain way? Does it hurt when you like try to shake? Does it hurt to stand up? Does it hurt to lay down? But the response you get from it is just kind of, if it hurts, try not to do that as much. And then it ends up being that this interaction ends with a very shy moment of, I think this is what happens when we are left in the box too long and you have a corporeal form. Many apologies from the Pokemon Center.
Oh, and Vaporeon's gonna like flick her tail, and some like just a little spray of like when the waves crash onto a shore or something, it like sprays water a little bit. It's gonna like a little bit of water is kind of gonna spray everywhere when she flicks her tail. Like, okay, it doesn't seem to hurt as much anymore because the hot Eevee helped.
What is
Maybe
our
like France a little bit.
what are so we there was 2 walls remaining of the Poke Center, right?
Mhm.
As far as the rest of our general environment, how's that looking?
Make a check as Marowak begins to look around and start take in the surroundings.
Mm-hmm. Just a D10, nothing relevant. So just a D10, I guess.
Sparks
It,
is going to see this happening and think this is something I should be doing and start just like walking around in the other direction doing the same thing.
I rolled a big old
all right.
9.
Sparks, please also make a check.
And
I
this is
I would
have
like to
this is
describe
look.
the environment, please.
I have memory problems. Okay.
That's right.
so I'm rolling a
You
10 with
see
this.
this beautiful landscape, and by the time you turn around to tell everyone about it, you forgot what's behind you.
Like 51st dates.
Yeah, exactly. So what am I rolling for this? A,
You're
a
just
10?
looking around your surroundings, and if you have anything on your character sheet that you think might apply, it'll change the die you roll. But if not, it'll be a D10.
So that was a 6 on the die.
Okay, a little better, a little better. um, as you look around, you can see you're in sort of a mountainy, forested region. Um, you actually recognize the landscape. Like you didn't. You this is the box you were initially put in, or that you were last put in. You can see. You're sort of in a mountain town. There's the green of a pine tree forest to one side, going down the slope, and there's a large level area, all covered with snow. And there are several ruined buildings like the one you're in, across this flat spot. You can see former homes. You can see a Pokemart that has been crumbling for decades. Um, the Poke Center that you're in seems to be one of the worst for wear buildings. Its roof is entirely gone. This computer and a half standing desk seem to be the only things left of any use or function. Um, and you can look up and you can see there's a mountain that you that towers above you, looming over this ruined town. And on the side of that mountain, there appears to be some sort of structure, large dome, 2 or 3 buildings. Only one of them has a large dome, but you're not sure exactly what it could be.
So I think Sparks, like, it's like everything happens really quickly. This realization that this, I recognize everything that I see in front of me, but this is completely destroyed and it's not the last thing that I saw. It looks completely different. And so I think all of that
Mhm.
realization and like fear kind of like comes in all at once. And Sparks is going to start backing up and also like flickering a little bit with flame, like unknowingly, just kind of reacting to that. And as I'm backing up, this something's this is it's it's not the and it's that's where we but it's something's wrong, and I'm
As
just still backing
Sparks
up.
continues to back up, um, their tail sputtering with anxiety and possibly the snow that is all around you. Um, What do the rest of you do as you take in this same scene?
Vaporeon notices Sparks retreat, but is kind of like stuck in a spot because she's just staring off at what she sees before her, and the realization that everything is gone, and that with everything that she sees before her gone, it means that her trainer is gone, probably. Um, and even though she's very um, childlike in some of the things she's thinking and does, she is like um, she's very aware and critical and scrutinizing about what she sees in front of her. Is like, this is not good, but she's also stuck in that one spot. She's frozen. She like just complete shock of not knowing what to do, and this feeling of wanting to run but unable to move.
I am a rock type, and it is snowing. Right? It is snowing.
I thought Marowak was ground. I
No,
have to look this up.
well, let me double
Shit.
check. I
Now I'm gonna look it up.
no, okay, all right. Everybody let's not get weird about it. I didn't know it was Pokemon facts like that. Okay. I
mean,
was
we
around-
play an accurate game here.
it is ground type. Okay, my bad. I didn't know we were fucking.
Look, it's the apocalypse.
But I think
it could
it's the
change. You don't
apocalypse.
know.
Okay. I didn't know we were
Truly,
playing like
truly.
that. Okay, my bad. It's yeah.
But I think
whatever.
the point you're making
thought this was just for fun.
remains because ice is super effective against ground as well.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking, I think I'm cold. I'm thinking I have the shivers, and I'm looking over. I'll take my club, my tibia shaped club, and I'll point over towards the dome a little shakily, and say, "I'm freezing out here. But I think I want to make my way in that direction, but I well I find myself unable to remember, um, and I'm scared I might get lost. So if some of yous could come with me, please."
I think at that, Sparks immediately just goes like right to your side, doesn't say anything, but is like backing up and just going like as you're talking, starting to clock that you're talking, starting to hear words coming out, and very slowly kind of turning and looking. And you end with, "Come with me, please." And I'm just like, okay, like I'm right there. So I clocked so I didn't hear anything you said other than the "Come with me, please," probably, and I'm right there. Where
As you approach Tibby, the Marowak, you stepping through the snow. It's sort of melting against your overheated paws, and you step on something like a rock, but you hear a sort of "ow" from
I'll
underneath the
immediately
snow.
jump back. What do I see?
Just a footprint.
Um, Hello, friend.
Be quiet! I'm not here.
That
We
the
could be not
noise.
here together.
Make a check to see if you can convince this creature to show themselves.
And that the voice not seeing something kind of like shakes vapor out of her, like stupefaction, her staring
Stupefied.
off into space. That one.
Stupor.
That one.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Oh, that's not good. I rolled a 10.
And she turns to see like where the noise came from.
The
rolled a 10.
noise the noise from beneath the snow says, "No, I like being alone. Go away."
Okay,
Oh
friend.
boy.
If you change your mind, I think we're going that way.
Wait, which way? I can't see you. And the snow begins to shift. And you see a tiny, it's like an orange triangle that has with a very dark shadowed face with a blanket pulled around it, but the blanket is itself, and it's shivering violently in the snow as you see a snow runt peeking out from the dune.
I have a question. Because Vaporeon can like control water, even though it's snow, with all the shivering, is there any like water moving around, or like is there any free water anywhere, where or can Vapor like somehow control the snow because it is made of water?
I think you can control the snow.
Okay, so she's gonna like see this this little cute triangle thing shivering and like like doing the thing. So she's gonna like, kind of just like almost instinctually like move the snow away from it, like in a I guess in a circle in circumference, like away from it, to try and like get more of a view of what this thing is, and also trying to like make it so it's not so cold.
Um, you start to use your powers of control water to shift this snow around, and immediately the snow runt goes, "Wait, no, what are you doing?" and dives back into a dune, and then pokes its head back out, continuing to.
But you're cold. You're doing the shaky shiver thing. That means you're cold.
But I like the cold.
It
It's
it,
we ice types like the cold.
it doesn't sound like you do.
Sparks
I
backs up.
love it.
I uh, I don't think he knows what like actually the word means. I don't think he understands what the word like means. It doesn't look like he likes it.
I mean, some people like to be sad, so cold doesn't have to be bad. Oh, I just rhymed.
Ah! But it does. He's doing the shivery shaky.
But
Well,
maybe good dance.
that makes two of us. We're mirroring each other, but I'm very cold too.
I will put my hands out again as a little fire.
I'm
And
pissed.
then I realized that that's too hard, so I just put my tail out because it's easier.
Okay.
Crackling like a wood fire.
Yeah,
Our
exactly.
our shaky friend. Um, I'm going to make my way into town to the dome for warmth. Um, how
Oh,
would
wait,
you?
wait. Shh. And as Snowrunt shushes, you all sort of listen, and you can hear an approaching sound.
Vaporeon.
Hide! Hide!
I'm
And
gonna go
Snowrunt
hide.
dives into another.
Same.
Yeah,
I'm good at hiding.
I try to hide, but like I can't really because I can't stop glowing. So, but
Can
I'm
I
going to try to do it.
can I
Mhm.
use because I don't know if this will work, because it's technically one of my... Hold on. It's one of my talents and powers. Can I use Control Shadow to put shadow over Flareon to dim the perceived light?
Ooh. I'll tell you what. One mechanic that everyone does have access to is help. And you spend 2 effort to give an ally an extra die, a chance to get a lower number. And if that's what you'd like to do, and that's how we're flavoring it, that's perfect.
Yeah, because I want to basically envelop... It doesn't say how large of... like, because I reflavor control water.
I say enveloping an ally that's smaller than you, absolutely, you can do that.
Cool. Making sure. So I'm going to use that. It's basically Shadow Ball, but I'm reflavoring it to be basically that I'm sending out this shadow to then envelop like the area to block the view of Flareon and like manipulating them. Instead of it being like Shadow Ball, it's more like, make a ball.
Amazing.
You like Pokeballs? You're a Pokemon.
Yeah, and I kind of like get into my like low Pokemon, gonna take a nap, and I curl around in a ball like a cat does like a few times, and then lays down to try to be as low to the ground and thin as possible. So do I roll a different die, or do I roll with advantage kind of thing?
You would roll with advantage, and remember these can stack. So you don't have to roll. You can declare it after the roll as well. So if someone rolls badly, someone can retroactively help. But I do need everyone to make a check to try to hide from whatever's coming.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to go dive into a half exploded trash can. That's what I'm looking for.
Brilliant.
Okay.
I love it. I rolled a 4. And my first one was a 12. So that
That's
shadow
literally the worst
was
you can
clutch.
get in this game is a 12.
So we're rolling with advantage?
I was because of the shadow.
Oh, because the shadow.
Only Flareon is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Vapo is going to like find like a snowdrift and literally like dive into it, even though she's not a big fan of being cold. It's still water for her, so she feels like this is like a safe space. And I rolled a 4.
A 4, a 2, and Tibby.
Tibby rolled a 1. I'm swan diving into a half exploded trash can.
Hell yeah.
And say bless Tibby.
The Marowak dives into a trash can, totally hidden. And the Haunter melds into the shadow of the wall. And that same shadow reaches out to dim the light of Flareon's fire as Vaporeon dives into the same snowdrift as Snowrunt. And within seconds, everyone is gone. It's like they were never even here. And just in the nick of time, as several floating black orbs with purple smoke trailing behind them start flying over the wall and floating down and continuing along as dozens and dozens of ghastly float through the area. We see that they don't look like the ghastly you've seen before. One of them is a strange, like greenish color. Another one has eyes that are too small and not quite centered. A third has a second head growing out of it like a wheezing. And these mutated Pokemon sort of laugh mindlessly, and wave over wave of them comes over the wall and down into the Pokemon Center before floating away into the forest. The whole squad of them is gone within a minute.
But
None of them seem to notice you.
they went down into the forest. Is this forest in the way of the dome?
No, they are going away from you,
Oh,
away
away,
from
away.
the dome.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, should we hurry? Maybe.
Snowrun pokes his head out. That's the gas lease. They're not very nice.
What
No.
happened to them?
They're saying the thing that happened to most Pokemon. They changed.
Will we change?
I don't know. I haven't seen Pokemon come out of a box like that.
And I turn to Tibby. Will we change?
I roll out of the trash can. Uh, uh, sorry.
Bless Tibby.
Oh, terrible.
I just felt significant because I jumped in there and I have to get out and I'm a little guy, okay? I'm a little guy. I am
You're a
picturing
little
it.
guy with a helmet and a bone.
I gotta get out of this goddamn trash can, and then you're hitting me with existentialism. It's just a lot, and I have amnesia.
And there's
I don't know that. I
I'm-
think you're the shit.
like Timmy's like,
Timmy's like, oh, 51st dates memory. And like, I don't know what's happening.
well, of course, he sobers up. Of course, we're gonna make it. Look, I, 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 as long as we put our nose in the right direction, put our noggins together, and just plow through, I'm sure we're gonna make it. There's nothing we can't do.
Vapo's like head first, still in the snowdrift. And you hear, but you have to leave now, don't you think?
What?
And she like realizes that you can't hear her, so she like sticks her head up a little bit. I think we should leave now, don't you think?
All right, yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Um,
Do
that's
we need to take anything with us? Is there anything here we should take?
Make a check and see what you find as you look around.
All of us?
Where's my?
Just Flareon in this
Okay.
instance.
Why am I rolling tens now? I never roll tens.
Oh
It's garbage. Absolute garbage. Ay.
Looking around doesn't help a whole lot because there's no roof. Everything is just completely covered in snow, except for a computer, a desk, and a trash can. And none of them look like they really have anything that a Pokemon could use.
I guess
Are we-
nothing. Come on, let's
Remember,
go.
every time you fail a check, you get 1 effort back if you're below your
Yes.
maximum.
Oh, so I don't go
Okay.
above my max. Okay, cool,
Is
cool.
so what
Right.
is like our elevation relative to like the dome? Like, are we on a hill? Because I'm picturing like we're on a hill. They go down into a town and up to a hill with a dome. Is that accurate?
Yep. The
Okay.
ghastly swarm went downhill and into the forest,
Uh-huh.
but up the hill, up towards the top of the mountain, there are complete buildings that
Yeah.
haven't decayed or collapsed. One of them has a large dome.
So would it be accurate to say that like maybe we could sled down in the trash can to town? like a little toboggan.
I'm so here for this.
Oh boy.
And I'm pretty damn sure this happened in one of the Pokemon movies. I'm having a flashback. I
Oh, for
vaguely
sure.
I feel like there is Pokemon sledding in I holy shit, I'm remembering something.
I'm sorry. I'm getting a visual
I've
here of
unlocked
like
something.
like chaos. This is gonna be chaos. Because
I love it. Bring it.
I feel like there's a visual of like steam because Vaporeon and Flare are be next to each other and like maybe some smoke and rock. There might be issues with this plan here.
Oh my god, it totally is like an episode of Pokemon. There's
I
so many
knew it.
images of
Incredible.
Pokemon on sleds.
Incredible. That's awesome.
This is not just like for what the fuck, like this exists. Like
This is real. This is a real thing.
When you know your Pokemon lore.
It just popped out. It popped out. It was crazy.
So good.
I would like to control fire for a minute and like shape, like I want to like heat up this trash can, heat up the metal and shape it so that it's more conducive to us riding on it.
Ooh.
Cool.
All right. All right. There is like a large crack along one side of the trash can. I'd like you to make a check. You can certainly control flame is what's allowing this to take place in the first place. It's certainly going to make the difficulty easier, but I am going to require a check to see how good of a sled you can make from a trash can.
And I use an effort for that too, right? If I remember correctly, I have to use one effort. I think.
If you are, let's see. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I also would like to help with that. And I have that like I don't remember the feature it was with my tough skin. But I can't make myself
rough skin.
Rough skin.
Oh yeah. You can hold it for me while I do it.
I can flex on it. I can pull on it there.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Heck yeah.
All right, go ahead and
can I also ask
another help?
Vapo, yes, because Vapo, you know when you heat something and then you throw cold water in it, it tends to crack a little bit. Yeah. So Vapo wants to help with that as well.
Yeah, so we've got this whole little system going on right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you get 3 dice to make this check, and you take the lowest.
Oh heck yeah!
Oh nice, cool.
So
nice.
Vaporeon and Marowak both use 2 of their effort.
3.
Together, the 3 of you begin crafting this sled, taking this large metal trash can, heating it up so that it's not super cold to the touch and like bends more easily without breaking, and like super cooling it at moments to force it to bend into shape quickly, though in the way you want. While all of this is happening, what is Nurse Haunter doing?
I'm bothering the snow runt. That is shivering. From being a Pokemon that's in a Pokemon Center, is this normal for this kind of Pokemon to be shivering in the cold?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes?
Like
Okay.
the Snorunt's trademark is that it is constantly shivering no matter the weather.
And it's just after seeing Ghastly specifically that's in my evolution line, all transformed in some kind of way. This Haunter is basically looking over the Snorunt, trying to find what weird difference it might have. And it's still the very sing-song voice of, what kind of changes have you gone through? Are you okay? I know you're supposed to shiver, but are you actually okay? But it's probably very disconcerting because it's a Haunter.
Yes, please
just
make a
looming.
check. Are you okay?
Right? Excellent.
Oh.
You know when people close talk and they kind of go like this and they're talking really closely?
Yeah.
I got a 6. But I was also rolling a d12 because I'm really bad at social interactions.
Yeah, that's going to be a fail. You do get a point of effort back.
Good.
But the Snorunt is, I don't know what you mean. I'm gonna go over there and help, and sort of like shivers slash what almost like vibrates across the ground to move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just that's all. My character, my little haunter is very shy, and so doesn't really interact with people very much or other Pokemon very much either, outside of just treating Pokemon at the Poke Center. And so if it's not somebody who needs medical help, it's like they're just kind of floating there, observing. But then if someone pays a little bit too close attention, they will try to hide.
Right when Snowrun gets over there, the three of you are ready to present this beautiful sled made from a trash can. You have, it's sort of this wild contraption where you actually did find a little bit of like wire cable and poked holes in parts of the sled. So you've got the big main part of the sled. When you use the ribs of the trash can to like lines to keep it going straight, but then attached to the end of it, you cut out the bottom of the trash can and made a dent in it. So it's like one of those saucers, and attached it with the cable. So it's two sleds. One of them's a saucer, and they're attached with metal cable.
Yes, it's like a little sidecar on a motorcycle.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes,
Exactly what I'm thinking.
yes.
Oh, we were productive. Oh my god.
Yeah, you were.
I'm not scared of this apocalypse. We're welders. We could do whatever. This is amazing.
Got it. Crushing it.
I think I'm going
Um,
to. Oh, I'm gonna go up to Sparks real quick and just say, if you fall in the snow, you will be put out. Correct?
I fall in the snow and see.
What?
Can you imagine? Hold on.
Touch the fire, it'll burn. Let's see.
Yeah,
I will
this
ask
is
you
what we're
one
dealing
last
with.
time. Do you actually touch it?
Yeah, I fall in the snow
Oh,
for sure.
you fully fall in the snow.
Yeah, because I don't know it. I'm also like, I don't know what this world is like. Maybe snow isn't bad anymore. Like, so I just like think about it for like a second and go.
That's true.
And Sparks is gonna try anything once. So yeah.
Yeah, no, you fully like the rules of this world have changed. You're trying to figure out to what extent they changed. And you just sort of go over to the snow and flop into it like a cat and immediately
Yep.
take a point of damage as the snow is so cold, your flames almost go out.
I will immediately hop back up and also tail whip around and to light me back on fire, basically. And then I'll turn over to Nurse Haunter and say, "Yep."
I shall float above you and try to catch you if you fall. I am not very
Aw.
quick, though, but I will try to help.
Thanks, friend. Are
It
you
is
gonna
what-
It
ride
appears
in
you
the
can
sled?
walk on top of snow.
Hmm?
Looks like you can walk on top of snow, but
Yeah.
falling into it is a problem.
Yeah, I full on, Snowcat, Snow Angel, the whole thing. Yeah, I was definitely
There's a
Wow.
Flareon
good with
shaped
that
hole
point
in
of
the
damage.
drift.
Yes,
Amazing.
100%. And it's like sizzled a little bit, so it's got like the rough edges around the shape as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah,
But yeah,
incredible.
Okay.
so Haunter is going to just hover a little bit above, like whatever everyone else is on the sled. I don't have feet, but I can keep up basically.
Mm-hmm.
And if need
do
be,
we-
I will hand somebody the end of the stethoscope, and I can like sled behind them, basically in the air.
Do we have any more of the wire that we used? We could make like a handle and attach it so that you could like ride in the air.
Oh, I was planning on doing that anyways. It's okay.
Okay.
You all are doing your best, and it is very smart. I am very proud of you. You seem to be very healthy despite this very hostile environment. Your trainers would be very proud of you.
Thank you.
Please note this is coming from a
Never-
haunter, and it's just looming over you.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I'm oblivious to that. So, like, Spark is completely oblivious to that.
Amazing.
But I think it's also because, like, at the beginning, you were, like, hiding. And so that threat kind of, like, immediately went away, in there when it went. And I was totally going to say something, but I forgot what it was. So, yeah, just move on.
I've been
It went
there.
down an ADD spiral right there, folks.
So you
in-
have the sled.
Yeah.
You've determined the direction you need to go. There are, in general, the dome is slightly above in elevation where you are, but the path has some downhills that the sled will
Mhm.
certainly help with.
All right, I'm in the bucket seat, and I've got my bone club. Like I'm gonna steer in my little bucket seat, and I'm ready. I'm ready, ready to move. It goes, uh, uh, you know, maybe Vaporeon, you could push us off. Like you guys get in the long row together. You two stay together, and I'll be in the bucket seat, and then you can maybe propel us with water,
Uh,
or
Vaporeon's gonna get in the back and like look around at all the snow and gonna use control water. But before she does actually, she's kind of gonna go to Sparks and kind of go, it's kind of I could do it, but can you like make the hard water not hard a little bit because it's easier for me to like make us go if we just have regular water.
So when you started talking to Sparks, Sparks was already at the front of the sled, like standing up, like basically like a show dog ready to go, like at the beginning of the, just kind of like ready. And so then you start talking, and I had to do the like stop and turn around, and so I listened to the whole thing, and yeah, like this, and I just kind of like put a little bit of, so it just melts like a little bit. So I'll just basically continuously cast control flame just all the way down so that it's just making it a little bit soft so that it pushes easily as we go through.
And Vapor's gonna like control water to like have the water like kind of like like what in a jet ski where water's pushing out behind you and it's kind of propelling you forward like that.
Love it.
Amazing. You sort of lift the water up, creating a downhill and a propulsion for the. Oh no.
Oh boy.
No, because I'm just imagining now, like in my brain, the images of all of this. Timmy is in there in his little bucket with his little hammer, with his little bow hammer, and then Haunter's up parasailing at the top. This is incredible.
No, I didn't want to take away from that, like constructing the engine, but Timmy's definitely in the bucket seat, like.
Oh, incredible! Yes.
All right, I have to ask: is the saucer bucket seat thing in the front, back, or on one of the sides right now?
I feel like it's on the side personally. I don't know why I feel like kind of like a sidecar. I picture like a sidecar.
Yeah, I'm picturing
Amazing.
sidecar
So
quick
there's a
release.
short little cable connecting these two
Sidecar
together.
quick release. I don't. Okay.
Yeah. In case there's a tree or something, we're just like, meet you on the other side. That's what my brain went to it.
What a most epic and entertaining way to split the party.
Right? I know.
Oh my
It's because I just started GMing. That's where my brain went, I guess.
Wow.
Let's go.
Sorry, guys.
As you all move up to the top of the first hill, ready, you look down the ramp, and Vaporeon, you start creating water, creating this propulsion with Flareon melting it and making it easier for you to throw the sled forward. Tibby hanging on for dear life, but looking confident as ever. And Haunter flying like a kite behind the thing. That is where we are going to take our first break, just as you start to go down this hill. Oh
Amazing.
my goodness. Thank
Oh,
you
that's
all for watching thus
amazing.
far. We are, as a reminder, we are raising money for LA Project Hope for the wildfire relief. There's a link in the chat and I believe the description. If you are able to donate, please do. There's a ton of really cool auction stuff that you can get out of it that have been donated to the project as well. So we really appreciate everything that you are able to give is a huge help. So thank you again for watching, and we will see you all in about 10 minutes.
Hello, and welcome back to Dinner and a Game, where we always save you a seat at the table. Can you tell this is not usually my job? I have a couple quick things to talk about before we go back into our snowpocalypse. It's supposed to be a Poke-pocalypse, so I think we're just on a snow vacation so far, allegedly. But Dinner and a Game also has a merch shop where you can find a bunch of things that you can support a little TTRPG community to make some quality content. One of those things being our completely 3D printed dragon eggs. I have the rainbow one because of course I do. And in these dragon eggs, they come in many different sizes. You will also get a fidget dragon, which are the perfect little desk companions for all of your fidgeting needs. They come in 3 different sizes, I believe. A small one that is about perfect for a keychain, this medium size, and then a much longer one that is somewhere in my office. Where it is, I will find it later. Hopefully not by stepping on it. It's a little sharp. And then finally, if you also check out our website, believe it's dinnerandagame.net, you can also find our merch, which includes our coffee cup with our shield logo, and only the tears of my players can quench my thirst, which also comes in a t-shirt. If you would like to see our other t-shirt designs, you can check our website and see the lovely art that has been created for Dinner and a Games merchandise. And if you have not gotten a chance to donate tonight, but you might have a chance on Tuesday, because Dinner and a Game is also hosting Daylight, a Hero's Call, which is going to be in the Daylight system, run by Cam from Daylight Publications. And it is a dark Celtic fantasy setting. Should be a lot of fun. Yours truly will be there. And that will be on February 11th, Tuesday, at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Dennis?
It's time. It's time to figure out what happens at the bottom of this hill. Our 4 adventurers, our Pokemon that have been spat out into this winter wasteland, have made the best of a bad situation after hiding from a swarm of mutated Ghastlies in this nuclear winter. They have built a sled out of a metal trash can and have just started using it to fly down this hill on their journey up towards the domed building they've seen, the only complete structure that they have found in the immediate vicinity. So I need everyone to make a sledding check.
Sledding check.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yes, a sledding check.
Can we
look at your
clarify?
character
Is
sheet.
our
If you can, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, is our little dude with us?
Did we
Oh
kidnap
yeah.
him?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because I was assuming he was
Snowrunt
on the
has-
sled.
He is. Snowrunt is on the sled with you.
Okay.
Cool, cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Pretty good. That's 2.
I think I'm gonna use a different dice.
Right?
I got a 3.
A 2.
I got a 9.
A 3.
Oh!
Wowie.
Oh.
Wowie.
4.
And a 4. Not bad. With those rolls, does anyone want to help or boost their own roll? Help costs 2 effort. Boost your own costs 3.
We had a 9, right?
Mine was a 9. Can
Yeah,
I
I can
use it? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I would say I have 2 effort I can spend to try and help that.
Yeah, I only have 1 effort, so.
All right. It sounds like Marowak is helping Flareon as you go careening down this hill. And with a 2, that is a full success on all parts, with Snowrunt and the 2 evolutions, Vaporeon and Flareon, in the main sled, Marowak hanging on in the sidecar saucer and flying like a kite over seawater, is Nurse Haunter hanging on to her own stethoscope to hang on to the sled. And as you go sledding down this hill, this thrill goes through your hair. And in the wind starts to hurt Flareon as it's cold. It's so very cold. And at one point, your tail starts to diminish in flame, and you're no longer being able to melt the snow to make room for Vaporeon to propel the sled. But Marowak, how do you save the situation?
I think maybe hold on. I have something.
Or how do you help Flareon?
How do I help Flareon? Because they're getting dampened by the snow, right?
Yes.
I think what I think the move is I'm in the saucer and I grab my bone club and this is how I'm flavoring this, but I'm going to like bait like a golf swing, but like Happy Gilmore, right? So it's like a really like big. I'm gonna swipe in front of me to hit, hopefully hit with enough force, enough power, to hit maybe the rock or sediment under the snow. But I want to use my Pokemon move, Rock Tomb, and I want to throw a Rock Tomb up onto the front of just the front of the sled in a way that makes like a little windbreak shield for Flareon. Golf club swing.
Amazing.
I'm just gonna look
As
over.
you
So
you
quick.
look over and you see Tibby like full golf baseball swing as a boulder outcropping flies by and a huge chunk of it gets knocked off. The sled begins to spin out of control. Everyone holding on, especially Haunter, who gets flung around like a ski behind a boat that's turning. And the rock lands boom right on the front of the sled, immediately begins to slow the sled down to a safer speed and stops the spinning and provides a windbreak for Flareon, for Sparks.
Amazing.
And as you
That was so cool.
this is not the first hill of the journey, but it is apparently the last. As you slowly, the hill levels out and you coast to a stop right in front of this building with a huge dome over it.
I love it. I love
Now
it.
that you're close, you can sense something's not quite right about this place. The adrenaline of the sledding has worn off. The wind up here in the mountain is even worse than it was in town. Constant horizontal snow being blown across your face, almost obscuring the top of the building itself. And you look up, shielding your face best you can, trying to shy away from the frigid wind.
Mm.
And the doors at its base appear to be the only shelter from this onslaught.
We have to get inside, and I'm going to jump off my little saucer into the snow. How is it?
It's cold. It's very powdery.
Yeah.
Difficult to wade through.
Okay. I hold my bone club over my head, and I try to wade through the snow to get to the doors.
Mm.
All right, make a check to see
Okay.
how well of a, as you wade through, you're starting to sort of make a path for everyone else.
Can I use 2 of my effort to help by going as bright as I can go and trying to kind of push the air a little bit with the heat in front as they're working?
Okay,
Staying very close and very warm.
that would be great.
Yeah.
You give
'cause-
Marowak an extra die.
Okay, because I rolled an 8. So.
Oh, jeez.
Cool, cool.
God.
Well, do that again.
Not so good.
That's a 5. That's a 5.
That is much better, and I will count that as a success.
Yes.
You do manage
Hell yeah.
to
Ooh.
wade and create a path through the snow that Vaporeon, Haunter, and Snowrunt can use as sort of a shelter from the gale, blizzard-like gale,
Mhm.
as you all approach the base of the building. And when the mountain loomed over you in the town, it felt normal. It felt majestic, stoic. This building looms in a very different way. It feels dark, mysterious, and dangerous.
I don't think this doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like we should be here. Let's find a different building.
Is there another passable building in
There is one other building in this compound, much, much smaller. But you can see that the doors and windows have been taken off the hinges and shattered. And there are drifts of snow inside. It'd be shelter from the wind, but not from the cold.
Oh no, I think this one's gonna have to be it. Notice can you go through the door?
I don't think so. I don't think that's what hunters can do. They're a ghost type, but I don't think they can just.
Can you go?
This is a.
Y'all make
Diamond doesn't
look
think
up
hunters can do that. They can levitate.
deep
I'm sorry, I just
Pokemon
got a
lore
visual
here,
of how
and
to, like-
hunters go through doors.
Yeah,
Smack right into
Right?
the door.
I feel like I remember. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Like
Actually,
go
no.
incorporeal for just like the split second that you walk through the door. You know.
I do not think I can go through the door without it being open, but I can sneak through.
This Pokemon research moment is brought to you by Support Project Hope.
Okay.
Visit our Tiltify.
No, I'm not finding anything.
Okay, it's fine. I feel I'll tell you what I'm remembering is there's the Pokemon episode when Ash is fighting Sabrina with the psychics, and he goes to the ghost house, and those dickheads are phasing through all the walls and doors. Is what
All
I'm
right.
remembering.
All right.
But
We'll say
I
yes then.
You'll say yes then?
Yeah. I'll allow it.
Then
I think it's fun just for flavor, like peek in, peek out.
I'm going to make it interesting, I will use Control Shadow again to do the same hiding trick that I did in reverse. And then I'm going to go into the shadows of this structure to see if I can then come out of the shadows on the other side or manipulate the shadows to take me through.
Love that.
You move up to the door and flatten yourself sort of against the seam, and the rest of you see as Nurse Haunter sort of becomes this black silhouette and then melts into the crack between the two doors. You take a peek and make a check to see what you can see inside.
Is it dark inside?
Very.
I can see in the dark.
Amazing.
Oh, that's an 8.
Oh no!
Oh no!
You opened your eyes
get
still
one-
inside the door.
You do get one effort back, but it is, even though you're able to see in the dark, there is something more suffocating than darkness in here. You cannot see beyond this entry hallway. but the sounds you hear indicate that this is one large open room beyond.
What did, what
Going to
did,
go back outside.
what did you find?
It is very dark inside. And you notice that Hunter's voice has dropped now. It's not the same sing-song voice. It is very dark inside. I am not affected by the dark. I was made in the dark. I'm one with the dark. But
Marks thinks about
I
that for a
am
second.
the darkness.
I am the night. But I do not think any of you will be able to see, but they will immediately be able to see sparks.
Mm.
So
I
we
can
shall not have
light it
the
up.
element of surprise. If it is bad,
I use my bone club as a crowbar on the door.
I can light it up
Brilliant.
inside.
Make a check.
Yes. All right. I think crowbar had a dice stat. Let's see, crowbar exists in here.
Yes, I believe it has a D8 to
D8.
open things like
It
boxes
does.
and doors.
Hell yeah! This door doesn't know what's go. I'm prepared for you. Aha! That's a 3.
Aha, a success. You jam your tibia jams their tibia into the door and pries it open. There is a as the latch on the door itself breaks and pushes the snow slightly out of the way. It's powdery, so it's not holding the door shut. And you do make a crack big enough for everyone to get inside. But Snowrunt, as the door opens, says, I think I'll stay out here and make sure that nothing follows you in. Is that okay?
That's really smart. Go ahead, Sam.
It could be dangerous out here. Suppose the ghastly come back.
That's what I'll then I'll come inside and warn you.
Okay. And Vaporeon's gonna kind of like stick really, really close to Sparks, like almost like a hip to hip type of thing. Like, I'm not leaving anyone's side. I am terrified. Don't know why we're here.
I can picture this basically between the two of them. There is this bit of steam going all the way across the side where they're touching, and it's just little bits of, so it's not hurting either one of them, but they're so close that it's just making this constant thing of steam.
Awesome.
I'm gonna wander in the dark to see if I can find a light source.
Okay. Go ahead and make a check to try to find a light source.
Okay.
All of you go inside and immediately realize that it is warm in here. There's a heat source somewhere, and it feels amazing compared to the blizzard on the other side of this door.
Roll the 1.
Do we? Ooh, nice.
You
We
are
win.
first in.
Yay!
Yeah, you just win. You win the game. Good job.
Done.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Done.
Bye. See you.
But
So with a 1, the best you can possibly get, you go inside and immediately you're sort of like feeling along the side of the wall, and you feel a giant lever, and you pull it down, and there's this loud ka-chung and as lights, bright, brilliant lights light up the inside of this dome. And you can see that even though the building itself is intact, the equipment in this room is old and decrepit.
Mm.
You have found an abandoned observatory with an enormous telescope in the center pointing at a closed roof. There is equipment along all walls, screens and buttons and dials, all inert, inoperative, off. And most concerningly, you can see Ghastly.
Oh,
Only
good
about
Lord.
a half dozen of them wandering about the room. And as the light turns on, the Ghastly turn towards you. And
Yeah.
we enter combat. Everybody, please make a reaction check to determine the turn order here.
Oh
I will
boy.
ask for them in a moment, so once you roll, just keep your number in mind.
And that's the
What do I
D12?
roll?
Normally going to be a D10 unless you
Okay.
have fast reactions or something similar to give you a different
No,
die.
it just says default to D12 for attacks. That's it.
Yes.
This will be a D10 since this one isn't an attack.
Yes. Like, I'm rolling a d12 because I have hesitant.
I got a 1.
Which makes you bad at this.
Yes, it does.
Should
It did.
should I be rolling a d12 because of the I can't be stealthy because of the prominent thing?
No, this is
Okay.
just measuring
Ooh.
basically your reaction time to seeing the Ghastly.
Got you. Okay.
So it'll be a D10 for everyone except Nurse Haunter. So, since we have a D12, I will start there. Anybody get a 12? 11. 10. Ooh, not so good.
No.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy.
9. 8. 7.
I'm scared.
6. 5. 4.
Me.
Wow.
3. 2. 1. Amazing. So, starting with Vaporeon, you
Mm-hmm.
see these 6 Ghastly in the room all turn to you and make to attack, their tongues lolling out of their mouths of varying sizes. You are the first to react to this situation. What do you do? Now, in Sagas, you have 2 things on your turn. You have a
Mm-hmm.
movement where you move one zone, which is
Okay.
about 20 feet, and you have an action. We can remember what we use our action for by remembering A, B, C, D, E. A is
Okay.
for attack.
Mm-hmm.
B is for brace. When you brace, you basically prepare for incoming attacks, and instead of losing health, you lose effort.
Okay.
C is for checks. So you do something crazy and wild that I'm not expecting, and you roll a check for it. That would be C. That would be an action. D
Okay.
is for dash. You move again.
Okay.
And E is for encourage. When you shout encouragement to another player, you can give any amount of your effort to them,
Mm-hmm.
so long as they don't go over their maximum.
Okay.
So, Vaporeon is the first to go in the turn order. These Ghastly have spotted all of you hanging out by this door and are starting to fan out and surround you.
Not so bad. I imagine when we came in the door that some snow came in with us.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
It's still like blowing in a little bit.
It's still blowing in a little. Okay, so and because it's so warm in here, it's pretty much melting almost immediately.
Yeah, it's making a puddle right in
Okay.
front of the door. I see
So
where you're going with this, and I like it.
I was also on
Vaporeon's gonna
fire.
Vaporeon's gonna control water and as best she can like control it so that it sprays toward the Ghastly and as much as a fan like to get as many of them as she can with as much force as she can.
Okay. We'll say mechanically this will be a control water attack. which does need to target one. So one of them is very close to you and is going to catch the full blast of this. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Okay. Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. That's a 6.
A 6 is not quite enough to hit the ghastly. You miss. You do regain 1 effort.
Okay, so I have 2.
But the ghastly ducks underneath the spray of water as you use one of your moves.
And then she's gonna like kind of like walk backwards so that she's touching water because she's kind of like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And trying to like move away, so she's closer to where the puddles are.
Your back paws are now in the melted snow as the ghastlies continue to advance on you in this short little entryway into the observatory. Next up, after Vaporeon, we have Sparks. What do you do?
Cool. Yeah, so I was already on fire coming in. So I think I'm just going to do a melee fire attack. And I'll do a fire spin as I'm doing it. So if I hit, it'll do that, put them in the little, fiery vortex. So I'll try to hit them first.
Perfect.
Look at me learning how to play this game. It's so easy.
Right?
Oh,
we tried
that's
very hard
good.
to make it that way.
Oh, jeez.
That was an 8.
Oh. As your tail wraps around you and grows in length and shoots towards one of these ghastlies, it ducks underneath it as the tail creates this whirl of flame that dissipates against the ceiling, unfortunately missing everything. You do get 1 effort back.
I stepped into a little bit of the water and threw me right off.
Now it is time for the ghastlies to approach. As they continue floating towards all of you, I need everyone to make an avoid check. As those of you, we've got the evolutions sort of hanging towards the back, Marowak and Haunter towards the front in 2 different zones, but each one receiving attacks from these ghastly.
5. I got a 5.
Was that a D?
5.
I switched to a
10 or a
different die.
12?
That helped.
That would be a D10. This is an avoid, not an attack.
3 for me.
3. A perfect 1. And a grimace from Sam.
A 10.
Ooh.
A grimace.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Both Tibby and Vaporeon, you lose 1 health as the ghastlies assault you and just begin like taking this their gross long barbed tongues and using lick.
Oh no.
So Vaporeon had stepped back into the water. Does water absorb work here?
Lick is not a water type move, so no.
Okay.
It's a ghost type.
Okay.
A question, do I get effort for the failed dodge?
Ooh.
Yes, you do. Every single failed check, you regain effort, including failed avoid checks where you take damage.
Okay. So, okay.
Okay.
I get.
So
okay,
even when
good.
you take damage, it's not a total loss.
Okay. Good. Whew.
Okay.
That is the Ghastly's turn. Still all sort of like plugged into this entryway. Nurse Haunter, it's time to show them what an evolved one of them can do.
Whichever one tried to swipe at me, I'm going to use Poison Jab, which is now flavored to be Infect. So I'm going to.
I love it.
I'm going to spend the effort as well so that if it hits, then they will then be infected and then they take damage every
Yes.
time I use an action to make it so.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm rolling a d12. So wish for the best. Ah, where'd that go? You know what? I'm going to keep it. That's a 4.
That is a hit. As the poison, actually describe for us what the poison jab looks like from Nurse Haunter.
I think it's seeing these ghastly, like with their like I'm assuming their tongues are now mutated. It's not the normal ghastly tongue.
Yeah, they're gross. One of them's forked, the other one has a knot in it. It's nasty.
Yeah. And it's kind of this very like concerned look. It's not concerned that we're being attacked. It's concerned that these ghastly are sick. And it's all right, it is time for your anesthesia. And then just jabs like the hand into one of them.
Oh my god.
And you can see the hand inside its ghostly body, and immediately the ghastly just sort of shudders, and it takes 1 point of damage and poof, just evaporates.
Oh wow.
You just
Amazing.
you said it
Amazing.
your anesthesia and hit him with the forever sleep.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is amazing.
This is why I flavored this haunter to be a nurse. Because I had that idea. And I'm just like, you know, this is funny.
That's
Anesthesia is
brilliant.
poison.
I love it. It is.
Wow.
Do you want to move
That's a nightmare.
further into the room?
I'm sorry, like contextually, a haunter just death anesthesia somebody's crazy,
So good.
crazy Pokemon lore. By the way, like, if you think about it, it's fucking crazy.
Favorite. Hunter's
Oh
my
my
favorite.
Pokemon, but the apocalypse. We gonna get a
Wow.
little bit dark.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna do it here, bestie.
Sick.
I am going to go ahead and I'm going to move to be near Valerian.
Okay, so you move further back. As a note, that all three of you are sort of like very crowded to this door. There's one ghastly that is also close to you. And if anyone else moves further into that one zone will be over capacity, and everyone inside will be unable to attack.
Oh, neat.
You can do everything else. You can try to push someone out of the zone. You can use an ability. You can do whatever. You just can't attack.
So question, because I
Just too
had a
close
different
quarters.
I had a different image in my head. I thought we walked in and the ghastly. So can you paint that picture for me again as to where we are?
So there's a small entryway
Mhm.
where the door is, and then the giant room opens up, and the ghastly on their turn all moved into the entryway and
Okay.
surrounded you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to
All
get
right.
like near Flareon to like kind of hug a wall in case I need to go back into a wall shadow. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, you've got walls on both sides still.
Yeah.
Both sides of the entryway too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
Cool.
thought I went into the room because they were because I went before them, didn't I? The
Mhm.
hunters. Yeah, so I went into the room where they are, so I'm out there by myself, or I was before your
Oh,
turn.
you're out here by yourself. All right.
Yeah, because
So
I
it's
went before they
Flareon,
did, so
and
I
then
went
further
to
back is
them.
Marowak, and then further back
Yeah.
is everyone else. Okay.
Yeah, because
There you
mine's a
go.
Got
melee
it.
attack, so I had to be next to them.
So I'm basically I'm wanting to put my haunter kind of like at an angle to where it's like I have clear line of sight on Flare specifically.
Great. That works. Moving on to the bottom of initiative, caught on the back foot here.
No.
It's Tibby.
Okay, am I feeling like how surrounded are we? Like how outnumbered, I should say.
There are 4 of you, and used to be 6, now 5 of them. It's almost
Okay.
1-to-1.
Is there a bunch
And they don't seem to be that tough.
Is there a bunch in the way in between us And Sparks?
There's some. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like 1 or 2 in between you and Sparks.
Okay.
You still have your like hand on the lever on the wall.
Yeah,
having
yeah.
turned the lights on.
Okay. I feel like what I'm gonna do is if I'm all the way in the back, I would be running towards the what I picture is like letting go of the lever, and if I'm in the back, I'm running towards the front, and then I just like T-pose, dive to headbutt one of them using headbutt through the air. I just
Yes.
Yes. No, you're not using headbutt specifically because
it's
headbutt's a normal type move that doesn't affect ghosts.
but not
You are
me.
using.
I'm using Iron Head, and I fucking.
That's right.
That's
Your
awesome.
skull transforms into
That's
this beautiful
amazing.
shiny chrome as you just fly, like your arms out almost like wings horizontally towards this ghastly. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Sick. Oh wow, that's an 8.
Oh god.
Oh, if someone has effort and an idea,
Yes,
you can
I would have
help
given.
on this attack
Yes,
roll.
I would have give my effort. I have 3 effort left,
Oh,
so
okay.
Amazing. So how does Vaporeon? You see that the trajectory of Tibby is just totally off. Like the Ghastly's up
Mhm.
here somewhere,
right,
and
right.
Tibby's down here, just like
So he's
flying in
trying to-
totally the wrong direction. What do you do to help?
So Vaporeon is kind of like sees what's about to happen and like controls water to like and gets water underneath him, so he pushes him more upward toward his target to get him.
Surfing. I'm body surfing.
Yes, body surfing
And
on this like puddle of like water that's like that's coming, and she's like,
Listen, you ever been swimming as a kid and your head bumps into somebody else like in the pool or into a
Yeah.
wall? Will you ever
Yeah,
bump
yeah.
your head into the pool wall? But I have a helmet. Imagine how it's gonna feel for them because I rolled a 4.
nice,
Heck
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
nice.
As you, I actually relate to that. I was a competitive swimmer in college, and I have had many bonks.
A word? Yeah, I swam varsity in high school.
We'll talk about this off
Yeah, we
stream,
can.
100%. You go flying in the wrong direction, and you feel this wave just collide with your side, and carry you up into the Ghastly, and you don't even feel it. You're not sure if you even hit the thing. Everyone else sees this Ghastly just turn into gas
Nice.
and disappear.
Nice.
Got him.
Perfect.
Got him.
Perfect.
Damn.
That's amazing.
4 left, and now after that amazing move and Marowak landing in like a 3-point superhero with the club, how do you follow that up, Vaporeon? It is now back to the top of initiative and your turn.
Vaporeon is like realizing that after pushing Marowak upward, that she could use the same water with more force. Not as gently. Well, it wasn't gentle what she did with him, but like it wasn't so that he was out of control. But this one, she wants it to be as much water and as force as she can, and she's going to control water to target whichever Ghastly is closest. And so yeah, that's what she's going to do.
Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Please don't be a 12. Please be nice. Be nice.
Feels weird to not want big numbers.
I
doesn't it?
know.
Yeah.
That's a 2.
Amazing.
Okay.
That is absolutely a hit. And how do you take out this Ghastly?
So she looks around and she sees like that she's literally standing in this puddle of water. And then there's more around her. So she kind of draws, like whips her tail around so that the water's like starts spinning. And then like makes it into like what's the word? A vortex, and like aims it directly at this Ghastly.
Nice.
And the ghastly spins and spins and spins and is totally enveloped until it just disappears in a poof of dark bubbles.
And she's gonna look
And
around
that
and
is
see
one
like
more down.
yeah, and
3
she's
to
gonna
go.
like move like where there's more water.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Tech on this channel is phenomenal. That
Did it
ghastly
just,
had an
like,
actual fainting
disappear?
animation.
Did
That was
that
amazing.
happen? That was so good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Thank
Oh,
you,
all the little Easter
Dermot.
eggs. I'm
Oh
eating them
my
up.
god, you guys are wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, phenomenal. All right, after Vaporeon, we are back to Sparks. Way out in the actual observatory, a little bit further away from everyone else.
And there's
There's
2
only
out there
3
with
ghastly
me?
left and 4 of you. There are 2 out there with you and 1 back in the entryway with everyone else.
Okay, cool. So I will well, let me see if I hit first, and then I'll tell you what I do. 4? It's a 4. Would a 4
That
hit?
is a hit.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. So I'm gonna basically jump up in the air, and back down and around, and I'm gonna tail whip so that I'm kind of like running super fast around them, but my tail is spinning around them, and just fire whip all the way up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. As you literally run circles around this ghastly,
Mhm.
your tail rises and gets larger and larger until part of it disconnects and becomes this, oh no, we
Oh,
lost
no.
someone. Poof.
Oh,
Hunter, no!
come back.
Hunter!
disappeared.
No!
You got a 4. That was a success.
Yes, the ghastly does definitely die. Or sorry, faints and disappears into nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
You can interpret what that
So-
means however you want.
So, question: I have guts for one of my traits, which deals an additional 1 damage when I have a wound, which I do from falling in the snow. Can I deal that
So-
damage to a secondary creature, or just the one that I already took care of?
So you don't actually have a wound. A wound is
Oh.
like a status effect, sort of like how
Mm.
guts works in actual Pokemon. You need to be paralyzed or poisoned or something in order for it
Got
to
you.
work,
Okay.
not just
Well,
damage.
never mind then.
I like where your head's at, though.
Yeah. I was like, I have all these cool things I can do. I can hold him in a vortex, but he's already dead. So what else can I do?
Oh, don't worry. There's well, I won't
I
say
love it.
whether or not tougher ones are coming. We'll have to discover that together.
Oh boy.
Moving on to the actual
2 down.
ghastlies once more. There are only 2 ghastlies left, and they dissipate on their own. They just go, this isn't good. We better let the boss handle it, you think?
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
he'll handle it. And they just sort of phase backwards through the walls, and you can hear a rumbling.
Yeah, no.
Boss? He said boss?
The world has
I don't
changed.
I don't wanna be here anymore.
You don't know what it's like anymore.
I
The
agree.
trainers can no longer hold me back.
Mhm.
I rule this region, and you will not steal it from me. You all hear this voice emanating from the rafters above the lights, the bright, bright lights. And you look up and squint, and you can see some dark shadow darting between them very quickly. And in the same turn in initiative, you see a ball of shadow just get hurled straight towards Flareon, who is furthest out and did the most and just eliminated one of the ghastly. Flareon, I need you to make an avoid check, please.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
no.
I got this. I rolled a 1.
Yay! Yay!
Amazing. Just in the nick of time, you roll out of the way. You dart to the side as this shadow ball dissipates in like a giant puff of smoke on the ground. And you can see him walking out of one of the shadows beneath the actual enormous telescope. You can see a dark purple figure with feet on the ground as a Gengar reveals itself, bright
no.
red eyes glowing at you through the gloom.
Wow.
Sparks is
my
gonna get
God.
like kind of like that almost wolf like down low on the haunches, almost like a growl, but I'm not making any noise. I'm being, just very, very intense, and the flames are flickering up even more. So like it, instead of me being actually afraid, it was like it just snapped something in my head. Like these are my people now. I've got to fight these people, and so I fight for these people, and so I just down and I'm ready to go.
Oh boy.
Your tail turns from a large candle flame into a full-fledged bonfire
Hell yeah.
as you prepare for whatever comes next to protect your new friends. But behind you, Nurse Haunter, I believe this may be the first time you've ever come into the final evolution in your line. How do you feel about that, and what do you do as a result?
They
It's your
just
turn.
kind of look at this Gengar and they audibly say in this kind of deep, echoing, shadowy voice that comes from the different shadows around the room. Oh, you poor thing. Your trainer didn't love you. And I'm going to use Create Illusion, which is a Confuse Ray ability. And I am going to use this ability to make a duplicate of Flareon to fool the sense of sight. And I'm rolling a D12 against a check to see if they will be convinced that it's real.
I like it. All right. They will have it is a monster, and in sagas, to make the DM's life, my life, easier, the DM doesn't have to roll checks if they don't want.
Sweet.
So you're just rolling against a static number. All the monster stat blocks are checks. Players roll to attack, they roll to avoid. It's great.
3.
Hell yeah.
That is a 3. As you create this shimmering duplicate of Flareon, it's almost like a mirror image, moving in the exact same way, indistinguishable from the original. That is a success. This Gengar doesn't know which one of them are real.
And you kind of get the sense that this Haunter has just been watching you, Sparks, and seeing how you move and seeing how your abilities work to try to be able to replicate it. And they've picked you because you decided that you were their friend.
Aw.
And so they're trying to make things a little bit easier on you in this fight.
Aw. I think if I'm in front of you, I think I still, if this is okay, I will still turn and clock it, and just kind of give you like the little bit of the nod, like I see you. Very
The mirror
subtle.
image does the same thing.
Oh, amazing!
Both of
Oh
them
yeah.
turn back and nod.
Yes.
Amazing.
And then immediately back into the kick-ass, I'm ready to go mode.
Hell yeah.
And then I'm going to use my movement to go behind the mirror, like the illusion Flareon, and basically have it do the
Okay.
exact, and that's when it does the exact same nod. And it's just kind of, that's what's happening, is like it's kind of the additional confusion of like which one is real and which one is not. But your trainer didn't love you because they traded you away.
That's true.
Ice.
That is how Gengar evolves.
Ooh.
But Tibby, however, you are slightly behind Flareon and Haunter, and you rise from the cracked cement from your superhero landing. It is your turn.
Okay. How far away is Gengar from me?
Gengar is medium range from you.
Medium range from me. How
So
do I
that's 2
determine?
zones.
How do I close
You
distance?
can move up and they'll be in close. You can use your movement to move one zone and get them in close range. And if you want, you can use your action to get in melee with it. But then you wouldn't be able to attack.
But then I wouldn't be able to attack. Correct. Okay. Uh, I don't know what like the effective range would be on it, but I would try to. It says close range. Close range. Um,
Mm.
so
So you
it
could move up one and then
one.
you'd be able to hit it.
Okay, 6. So what I'm gonna do, so what's gonna happen, what Tibby is gonna do is he's gonna like look up and he's going to like side point at Gengar. He's gonna call him out.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna call him out,
I like
and
that
then
side.
side point. Gonna call him out and say, I don't know where I am. But I know I don't want you here, and I'm gonna do a run and sprint to move zones. But when I get into the close range, I'm gonna use Rock Tomb, which has a close range, and I'm going to swing into the ground, and eject debris at it with Rock Tomb.
Yeah, first.
Amazing. All right, go ahead and make your attack roll.
Okay, so it's D10 here. Fuck, another 8. God damn it.
I'll spend the 2
Oh,
effort to
no.
give you help.
Okay, wow. I love it. Okay, all right.
How does
okay.
Nurse Haunter help the Rock Tomb?
It's the confusion ray.
Oh,
Once again.
perfect. You literally run at the illusion and you strike the ground underneath the illusion's feet.
Okay, okay, okay. Come on, man. Huh. 3!
There it is.
Amazing. You create this fissure that sort of through the cement, and rocks like surround it, just huge boulders jut out of the ground, one of them smacking Gengar across the side of the face, and it takes a point of damage.
And it can't move next turn.
Ooh.
And it cannot move next turn. Oh dear.
Oh ho!
All right.
Oh ho!
Moving back to the top of initiative with Vaporeon. This
Uh,
Gengar is trapped around these rocks. What do you do?
how close is Vaporeon to the Gengar?
You are still like all the way back by
All
the
the way
puddle,
back.
if I recall.
Um,
So you are within long range.
right. She's gonna. So if for me to get close, how for her to get close, how close does she need to be to use bite?
You need to move 2 more zones to get into close range.
Okay, okay. She's going to instead start like helicopter spinning her tail. And all the like it's almost like starting to like make her float a little bit, like levitate a little bit, but not quite because But all the water within her vicinity starts to like whip around her like a water spout tornado type of thing, and she's gonna like do this little spin move and whip all that water right at the Gengar.
All right, with long range, you can do that from that far away.
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Let's see. Control water, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
At rank 3, your attack range is close range.
Ooh,
So you
okay.
can't quite hit him
Okay,
from
okay,
here.
okay,
But you can move up and use something else like encourage to give effort to an ally who needs it, or
all right, so
brace
let's do
to
that then.
prepare for an incoming attack.
So who's after me?
Immediately after you is Sparks.
Okay, so I'm Vaporeon's gonna move up, and she's gonna go to Sparks. Um, uh, you gotta make him hot, make him really really hot and
That's the
gassy
plan.
and gassy.
Cassie?
Amazing. How much effort are you missing, Flareon?
What do you mean? 2.
How much are you below max?
2.
So how much out of 2, how much effort are you giving, Sam?
I have to. So 2.
You give Flareon all of your effort.
Yes.
As you whisper this encouragement and help focus the fight on the enemy in front of you.
Yes.
So, Shannon, you get 2 more effort.
Nice.
And it is now your turn.
Okay, cool. And he's still right in front of me, right?
Yep. He's not in melee, but he is in close range and trapped by rocks.
Okay, and he's a lot bigger than me, correct?
He's not a lot bigger than you. I think he's actually a little bit smaller than Haunter, but bigger than the rest of you.
Okay. I was asking because I was going to run underneath his legs, but if he's not that tall, then I was envisioning him
Gengar's
giant.
legs are super close to the ground. It is stubby little things.
Stubby little legs. I just thought he was giant. All right, cool. So I am going to I'm just going to use control fire, and I'm trying to wondering what this gas thing is that they're talking about, and aim for the stomach when I shoot at him with my fire. That's what I'm gonna do, basically. We'll see if I hit anything.
All right, you take your flame and you shoot this spout straight towards him, just as it heats up the entire space between the two of you. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Okay. So do I get to use effort to roll 2 now, or do I just gained the effort for that roll before?
You gained the effort. You can use it however you want. If you want, you can spend 3 effort to give yourself an extra die.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
And I rolled.
You focus in on this fire and
I rolled the exact same thing
narrow
twice,
it to a point.
So it's a 6.
Oh
No.
Yeah.
With a 6, you try really hard to focus the fire and do as much damage as possible, but it destroys one of the rocks trapping Gengar and hits the enormous telescope behind it. And you must have broken something, because the telescope begins to move with this scraping of metal. It shifts slightly as you all are fighting below it before it comes to a rest precariously against the side of the dome.
That's not good. And I don't know what this gas thing is that you're talking about. And then I'm gonna kind of run, I'm still staying in melee range, but I'm gonna run around, and I'm mostly to have the other Flareon move as well. So I'd like to use my movement to basically just kind of rapidly move, so that both of them are moving at the same time rapidly, and just to try to cause some confusion.
It's sort of like this blur using with the sparks of fire flying behind both of them. It's impossible to tell which one is real as they move in tandem. And we move to Gengar. And he growls, "You will not leave here alive. I rule this place. I'm one of the last survivors." And you can see as Gengar's anger increases, it begins to change shape. You can see its arms grow long and stretch out in front of it. These bright pink flames erupt from both hands. And you can see a third eye open in the middle of its head as it evolves into Mega Gengar.
Legasp.
Nice.
Is that what you meant?
Oh my god. That is so cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
This third eye glows with dark power, and as it evolves into Mega Gengar, it gets access to boss stats, which means it can attack more than once. And it is going to fire at Flareon. It is going to, Flareon, you will get an extra die on this avoid check because of the illusion. And it is also going to fire at Haunter after the insult was thrown. So the two of you, please make avoid checks.
I
as
failed.
two shadow
I rolled a
balls
9 and an
shoot
8.
out in either direction from its anchored position.
I rolled a 9 and an 8, so I'm assuming both of those are failures.
Ooh.
Rolled a 7.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
So
It's never good with a GM
I have
filter.
no effort. I have zero effort.
the first shadow ball slams into the real Flareon. The 50-50 shot, and the guess was correct. You take 2 points of damage.
Oh no.
And Nurse Haunter, as another shadow ball comes flying towards you. Ghost is super effective against Ghost.
It is.
Oh no.
And
It
you take
is.
an additional.
Oh no.
You take 3 points of damage, which, to be clear to the audience, is like one-shot kill ability.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
I have
So
1
you're
box of
gonna-
health left.
Oh god.
You see Sparks take this hit and go flying into the back wall and just slide completely down, unmoving.
No.
Something very, very interesting happens in Sagas when you reach 0 health. Shannon, you have a decision to make.
Oh boy.
You can choose to fall unconscious, which sounds exactly like it is. You can still take damage if you're attacked. You only die if you are at 0 health and 0 effort. You can still take damage in the form of effort. You can't take actions. You don't get turns. Or you can tap into a deep reserve within you and resign yourself to death here in this observatory and take your last stand. If you do, you get an extra die on every attack. You deal an extra damage on every hit. And every turn you lose 1 effort. The instant you drop to 0 effort, you will die.
Okay, I think I want that one, but I need you to explain it again to me because my math was not mathing when you were saying it. So I choose.
You get an
I
extra
choose
die
dramatic.
on every check.
Yep.
You
But do I drop?
deal
So
an
do I go
extra
back up
damage.
to full? Is that what you're saying?
You get You are at you're at max effort. You're right there. You are still at 0 health. Your health and effort are now essentially the same thing, and you are slowly losing it.
Okay, so as of right now, as I just got hit, I have 0 health and I have 1 effort. That's where I stand right now. So if I choose
When you drop to 0, you also gain 1 more effort.
Okay, so
you
I have 2.
2
So I have
turns.
2 effort. Okay.
2 effort left. And if you get hit, you will lose effort.
Okay. So if I if I choose the secondary option to keep going to get back up.
Is it guaranteed? Like if this is resolved with 1 effort left, are you still consigned to death?
You have to spend an effort at the end of your turn, and the point of a last stand is you are consigned to death.
Yeah.
You will die in this fight. But because of that resolve that you've summoned, it a huge power boost.
Sure.
Okay. For the rest of whatever the turns are. Or just one last fight. One last. Okay. Yeah. Let's do it. So I guess I hit the ground.
I will.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say for now, you are out, and you'll come back up when we get back to your turn.
Okay. I was going to flavor my coming back up, so that's perfect.
Yeah. I want to hear that. I desperately want to hear this description.
Oh boy. No pressure or anything.
Okay. That is the Mega Gengar's turn, having dealt a serious blow to one and knocked down another. Nurse Haunter, it is up to you.
So how does some tremendous anime bullshit work?
Love it.
At the beginning of Pokemon and all of the anime one-page supplements that we've created for Sagas have this. It's called Stab, which is a real thing in Pokemon, but also in Sagas it means some tremendous anime bullshit. And you can do a shit ton of stuff with it. All of you have 1, count to 1 point of Stab. With it, you can either roll a 1 on any check. You can restore all effort. You can level up early. You can increase one of your talents by 3 ranks until the end of a combat. And then you can go above your level for that. Or you can survive a last stand.
Just
all of you have 1 opportunity to do one of these things.
Oh man.
So, Nurse Haunter, it is your turn.
I'm going to use my point of Stab to level up my control shadow, which is my shadow ball, to a level 5.
Whoa.
Wild.
Yeah.
What does this look like to us?
This is basically the Haunter takes that damage from this Mega Gengar and accepts like the actual damage of it, but then starts pulling that shadow back out and reforming it into another shadow ball that just gets bigger and starts pulling the shadows from the room into it. All of the shadows underneath each of the companion Pokemon also gets pulled into this until there is no shadow left in this zone that Haunter is in until it's all contained. And then just sent right back to that Mega Gengar. Because I control Shadow.
Mega Gengar.
Yes. Oh, because you can control, because I use control water and just reflavored it to be Shadow, as we discussed previously.
Yep.
Shadow in Pokemon is liquid for some reason. We don't know why.
Yes, that's correct.
And at rank 5, not only are my attacks a D8, but this also means I can control enough shadow to fill an entire zone Your attacks with control water may target all creatures in a zone. And the Mega Gengar is far enough away from us that I believe it is the only one in that zone because most of them got
That's
knocked back.
correct.
Just
That's
drown them in
correct.
shadows.
Oh
So, yeah.
my God. As you begin to pull all of these shadows from every corner of the room, the lights grow brighter and brighter and brighter, and you condense it. There's this wind gusting throughout this place as everything begins to rotate with the air and these gusts. You see the shadow underneath your feet is pulled into this like black central black hole and
Ooh.
condensed further and further and further before it is shot towards the giant Mega Gengar just as it gets free of the rocks. What did you roll on your attack?
Nice.
And I want to remind you that
lands.
Shadow Ball is also a ghost type move.
Oh, get him.
And
Oh,
it's
Kel,
super
yes.
effective against ghost types. Yes! As the giant ball of shadow slams into the Mega Gengar, it throws it back against the telescope, and you can see it like falls to the ground and takes a full 2 points of damage for that super effective move.
Nice.
But it rises back to its feet, angrier than ever. Kibby,
Yeah.
how do you respond?
I respond by running up on him. Like I imagine like the shadow falls like a bucket being poured over, and as like it's dissipating the various debris that I had knocked in around him, the rock tomb, Marowak starts running, and if the shadow is like liquid black, you see Marowak running up onto the stones that he had knocked over, almost like little logs, like stepping stones. He's
Oh, yes.
running on the stepping stones, and I'm going to
His little
use
feet.
outrage. It's a rank 3 melee attack for 2 damage, and I'm gonna use my stab to roll a 1, and I'm gonna bop this guy. I
My God.
His little feet.
So as the shadow dissipates, you sort of, it doesn't quite dissipate all the way, and as you run through this puddle of shadow, it connects to you like inky ooze, rises up your back and sprouts out like wings just as you jump on the last one, and you open your mouth wide in this great snarl, and as you use a dragon type move, you grow like fangs, and your club just comes down whack straight onto the Gengar's third eye.
Yeah.
And automatically critting with your stab, you deal 1 point for the hit, 1 point for the super effect, or not the super effective move, the outrage that does extra damage because it's such a powerful fucking move, and a 3rd point for
He
the
has to be
crit.
down now.
So you deal 3 full points of damage to this thing, bringing it down below half health.
Nice.
And
Okay.
it is staggering backwards as you stand there, outrage continuing, the anger within you welling up, and you wind up for a second shot. You must use outrage on your next turn, because that's how outrage works.
Sure. I'm locked in. I ride.
Hell yeah.
I'm locked in. I'm riding the Mega Gengar. And I go, shoot her!
Amazing. Okay. Next, we go back to the top of initiative with Vaporeon.
So Vaporeon sees her friend like holding on, like, and sees like the middle eye go like get hit, targeted. So is she close to Gengar or?
You moved up in the last one and then used your
Yes.
action. If you move up again, you will be in close range.
Okay, so she's gonna move up again.
Mhm.
And now that she's in close range, she's gonna do what she wanted to do before with whipping all that water together. And she's just kind of like getting all that water to go as fast as it can. And she's gonna spin around and point her tail. So the middle eye is completely gone.
No, the middle eye is still there. This like bright yellow circle in the middle of its forehead.
So she's gonna use her and turn her back, point her tail directly at, so she points all that water there, and she's gonna use stab to get a 1 to hit it directly in the middle of that eye.
And parts of this water freeze into icicles, and
Yes.
it just rains down. And the largest one is sort of a to get him in the position. And as he looks back up with all 3 eyes, a giant icicle spike just like slams into his head. He takes 1 damage from the hit and 1 from the crit, leaving him with very little health left.
Nice.
Yay. Yay.
Now, there is a stirring from the corner
No,
as a little flame comes back to life.
Come on.
It is your turn, Sparks.
Okay. I was trying to find this one thing on here. Cool. So you see Sparks just kind of start to shake a little bit, and that sparkling that you saw at the beginning, that was like that almost electric, but not. It's with flame. You start to see that happen, and the whole body just starts shaking. And I slowly get up, very determined, stand up. I look at each one of them in turn, like every single party member in turn. And I just kind of nod to each of them as I go. And I'm going to use, I think it's that, it's the tail whip thing to attack. I was trying to get advantage on the attack, is what I was trying to do. And I couldn't find the thing that I had in there. But anyway, you're going to see flames go from the tip of my tail all the way up and then all the way back down as my tail gets as large as possible and just whips right around. And I am going to use stab to, and I get, what, tell me again what I get from this. I get an extra.
You have options.
Damage.
So you are currently in your last stand. You get an extra die on the attack, and if you hit, you get an extra damage. You can use your stab point to either roll a 1 on a check or survive a last stand, essentially, I think are your 2 best options here.
So I can roll 2 die, use my stab to automatically get a 1? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, essentially. Or you could use your stab to survive.
But I
not die at the end of this combat.
I think
no, I'm going down.
I do think you get the double dice regardless of which option you choose, though. Is that right?
Right.
Yes.
Can
Just
I
if you
roll first and
automatically
then
roll a 1, it
decide?
doesn't matter how many dice you roll.
You have to spend it at the end of your turn. You still have double dice during your turn.
Okay.
I will allow you to roll first and then decide if you want to use stab. Absolutely.
Well, I rolled 2 dice and I rolled a 6 and a 12.
Oof.
Oof.
Go out like a boss. You know it's in your heart.
Yeah. So I can use stab to change one of those to a 1?
Yes, you can.
All right, that's what I do. So the flame goes all the way big. And then can I also, hang on one second, let me check one thing. Sorry, be patient. Do I now have a wound from that last battle? For me going down?
I will say in this instance, being in last stand is absolutely a wound.
Cool. So that would be a crit, and then I also do additional damage with the wound because of my guts feature.
You deal 1 damage from the hit, another damage from the crit, and a third because of guts, and you have a wound.
And one more If you'll, I don't know if this works because I'm doing this as the fire spin. So if you hit an opponent in a melee with a fire attack, the opponent is trapped in a fiery vortex and cannot move until my next turn.
Oh.
I have something very interesting to tell you.
Oh boy.
It's not because of the fire vortex this Gengar isn't moving. And it's going to be much longer than the end of the next turn. If the Gengar ever moves again, how do you want to do this?
Oh, hell yeah. So, sweet. So the flames start, they go all the way from my tail, they go all the way up to my head. The fire in my eyes clocks every single one of you as I'm going. And you see intensity, but at the same time, tiny tears start to form down my face. The flames go all the way down, the tail comes wide, and you see almost 3 tails coming out for like each one of you. As I come in and spin around, the flames engulf both of us, and we both completely disappear.
The bright
And as
Mega Gengar vanishes in the flame, as does the one who conjured it, leaving the three of you here in this observatory that has suddenly grown very quiet.
Bye bye, hot Evie. You hear like little like, you know when icicles or crystals hit the ground?
Mm-hmm.
Like you hear that happening as Vapo's like weeping. Like, you just hear like tinkling.
I think Tippy would kind of walk over to the spot where Sparks was, and are there ashes?
yes.
Okay. I think Tippy would take his stick, his tibia, and I think he would kind of scratch into the ashes like a little. He would set aside like a little pile, but try to scratch into a pattern of a Flareon into the ashes. And then like on his knees would wet his little paws in the pile set aside, um and place a paw print on the center of where he would bang his helmet into the wall of the Pokeball, and he would put his paw of Spark's ashes onto the front of the helmet, and he'll say, "This way I don't forget that you came with me." And he'll kind of stand up and go uh uh see if, you know, I think he's gonna go brood in a corner somewhere, but he's gonna look for a high vantage point for in the dome to see what he can see out in the world.
As you stand up from the flame, for just a second, you swear that you see a little tiny flicker.
Ugly cry. How dare you? How dare
Ooh,
you?
so weak.
Ugly cry. How dare you make me cry about Pokemon and midnight, 12.
I know, and wait,
You know,
Well,
10 minutes to 1 in the morning.
Almost 1 in the
Yeah.
morning. Got me fucking crying about a Flareon.
Love you.
I go brood
You-
somewhere. I go brood.
You go over to the sort of by the entrance where you saw the light switch. And there's a second switch next to it. And as you pull it, you can hear the loud motors as the doors of the observatory slowly open and reveal a beautiful winter sky. Snow, the storm has passed, and snow begins to float gently down and slowly begins to cover the remains of your friend.
If I'm able, I would climb up to the top of the observatory and see how the rest of the outside world looks. Is there any civilization, any lights? Or are we in the wilderness mountains and this is our lone observatory of peace?
You climb up to just outside the observatory on a walkway around it, and you look out. But as you climb up there, Vaporeon and Nurse Haunter, what are the two of you doing?
Hunter's gone. Hunter uses Control Shadow in that last, like, kind of just thematically and just blends in with the shadows. And it's just gone from sight.
Why is everyone leaving? And Vapo's kind of just like looking around and seeing that her friend is gone and Hunter is like disappeared, and she's just standing there alone, and she kind of just and walks out the door where she came through to find her little see if she can find her little shaky friend.
Oh yeah.
Snowrunt, shivering. Did it go okay? Did you all get out? Was anybody hurt?
Um, um, our friend, Sparks, is gone, but they're gone in a pretty brave way, and then Hunter left too, and 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 their other friend with the silver skull is gone, and I'm by myself now. Can you stay with me, please?
Of course, of course. And Snowrunt, still shivering, lifts one of its little blanket arms and puts it around Vaporeon.
And then
And we will.
she's just
Go
gonna sit
ahead.
there and just kind of just.
They shiver together just outside the door of the observatory. And we cut back to the top of the observatory where Tibby has climbed for a better vantage point, and you look around. Snow still falling beautifully. The town that you came from still destroyed. But in the distance, you can see a city with shining lights in the evening darkness. Someone is still around. Civilization is still here. And there's hope. Where is Nurse Haunter, though?
Watching everyone, but also making themselves at home here because it was where the Ghastly were. It was where the Gengar is. Haunter's the middle stage of the evolution, so it's a fitting home for now. But also doesn't want to
One of
leave
you
Sparks
found- one of you found a new home. One of you found a new hope. One sadly was lost, and another found friends. And that is where we are going to end our one-shot this evening of Pokemon in the Post-Apocalypse.
Wow.
You guys.
Ah!
That is not how I thought that was going to go.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
Wow, that was wild.
Amazing.
That was so fun.
Emotional.
What was that?
It was
I thought I
fun.
was playing Pokemon. It was
I
sad as
know.
It was
hell.
so sad.
We were
I
on a
know.
sled and
What the
doing
fuck?
all this cool
Yeah,
shit.
We're having a
we
great time.
we
Now
like
we're all
Oh my
sad.
I
goodness.
know what the
Now,
shit.
yeah, now I can see the therapy session.
Thank you all very, very much for watching and spending tonight with us. I know it's quite late for a lot of you and for a lot of us, so we'll wrap this up and let you go get some sleep. Or, I don't know, it's Friday night. Maybe sleep's not your thing today. But thank you for spending your evening here with us, helping raise money for LA Project Hope and to help support those that were affected by these recent wildfires. To those of you that were able to give, thank you very, very much. We'll do some outros. In case you hadn't been here the whole time, my name is Dennis. You can find me on the internet at okayest__DM. I created the game we played called SAGAS. It stands for Setting an Genre Agnostic System. It can do anything, including let you be Pokemon, whether you're sledding down a hill or mourning your lost friends. Anywhere on the spectrum, you can find it with Sagas. This particular supplement was co-created with me and Mika of Roll D5. Thank you again, Mika. We've played this a couple times now, and damn, we did a great job. I will hop it over to one of our other guests here on DAG, Jojo.
Hi, hello, my friends. I'm Jojo. I am a cultural anthropologist, storytelling anthropologist. I am on the Melanin Mythos podcast, and I help out in charity streams. I'm on the Somebody's Heroes podcast, the 5e podcast. And I also appear in Castleton, and I help out at Apochromatic Unlimited, which is a BIPOC like publishing platform. So I do stuff, and mostly I'm just a silly guy and make silly characters, like Tivy, the amnesiac Marowak T-posing king. That's my outro. That's I'm out.
With a dab.
And Shannon.
Hello, beautiful souls. I'm Shannon. I am ImagineIf pretty much everywhere. I also have the ImagineIf Media Twitch and YouTube channel where we support those who create, play, and heal. I host Creator Spotlight on there, which is where I highlight all of you. So if you want to be on the show, I do have my link tree has a little form in there you can fill out or just shoot me a DM and we could talk about that. I also play Raven on Superhero Shenanigans, which is a Mutants and Masterminds system, and we do that over at Don't Kill My Character. And you can kind of see me all over the place. I happen on Roll D5 every once in a while, and Haven, Somebody's Heroes, obviously here. So I love doing the charity streams and that kind of stuff. And I also write games, and I'm an artist and that kind of stuff too. So you can find all of that stuff and what's coming up in my links. And I do want to promote that we are on the ImagineIf Media channel. We're doing a fundraiser right now for Black History Month. So Black Girl Film School is where the funds are going for that. And we have 2 streams coming up this month, 2 sessions, and all that information is on that link tree as well. So thank you so much for having me here tonight. This was a blast playing with all of you. You are all wonderful friends. And can we please just give a huge, huge shout out to Tech?
Yes.
Because
Oh
I
my
mean,
Yes.
this was
phenomenal.
so well
The
done,
animation.
and
So good.
anybody that shows me, I mean, on cue, they pop up. Yes, yeah, amazing. Thank you so
Yes.
much. You guys are great.
So good. Like,
And I'll throw it over to Sam.
hello, I am Classic Sam NYGM, also known as Classic Sam, and I am a professional dungeon master as well as a TTRPG actual play and performer. You can find me mostly on my channel, Classic Sam NYGM, where I interview amazing people all the time. I will be interviewing Brother Keon tomorrow, Justice on Sunday, and Captain Robert on the 14th. So super excited about that, but specifically for Black History Month, please check me out on Girls Run These Worlds, where I'll be running a panel about Black creators in the TTRPG space. And if you just want to follow the stuff that I do, you can find me as Classic Sam NYGM everywhere and all social media platforms. And this was an absolutely amazingly fun thing to do. I'm glad I didn't miss it, and I got to be all weepy and crying, and it made me happy.
Thank you very much for being here. Diamond, do you want to take us out?
I will, in fact. All right, let's get Dag out of the way. Thank you so much for watching Dinner and us here on Dinner and a Game. Dinner and a Game is a TTRPG streaming channel on Twitch that is also a TTRPG community where we always save you a seat at the table. Keep an eye out on our socials, which is usually Dinner and a Game everywhere we can be found. And with that, you can also check and see whenever we're casting for one-shots, whenever we're casting for any new games that might be popping up. If you're a GM who would like to come and run something over on Dinner and a Game as a one-shot or maybe a little 3-episode triptych, send me a message. But I also want to give lovely, lovely love to our tech support tonight, which is Mara F Plays or Mara TXT in the Twitch chat. You can find Mara at linktree.com or link.tree. You know how Linktree works. And then Mara_F_plays. And then for our other lovely tech support who is making all of these cute little Pokemon jump and interact for the audience to see, that is going to be Dermage. And you can find Dermage also at linktree/Dermage, DURMIDGE. Make sure to follow both of them to see what lovely things they're doing and what other things they create here on DAG and other places. On Tuesday, February 11th, I had to remember what month it was, at 7:30 Central Standard Time, you can find us again on DAG running something for ChariTTRPG's LA Hope project. That one is going to be Daylight Heroes Call, and Daylight is a system created by Cam from Daylight Publications. I myself am a player, along with some other lovely players, so you get to see more new faces here on DAG. But last but not least, I'm Diamond, but you know, we've been through so much today. I use they, she pronouns. I'm a TTRPG actual play performer. I'm also a cosplayer, content creator, sex worker. I work in the nonprofit sphere, and I do a lot of back of house work in the TTRPG community. I am the administrative coordinator here on Dinner and a Game. I have been for the last 2 years. I am the keeper of schedules and spines. Everyone has a little bit of a healthy fear of me, as they should. And then I'm also the I'm the cast manager for World Tree Quest as well. We're on Thursdays. You can find me over there playing Melusine Lusvestra, the Battlemaster Fighter, Path of the Ancients, Barbarian, Rogue.
Wow.
Alrighty.
Yeah. We're level 9. Yeah. Triple class melee. Triple class melee with a 19 AC. So yeah, you can find me over there on Thursdays on World Tree Quest, where I play Luce, my lovely magical idiot. And then you can also find me here on Dinner and a Game, sometimes on Tuesdays, where we play Emerald Sanctum's Our World of Darkness multi-splat, where I play Bay, the very human hunter who's gay with a death wish. I use the Martyr Hunter, and it's a World of Darkness multi-splat using the 20th anniversary versions of those characters' playbooks. So, and then sometimes we have one more thing left up to wrap up with Renowned Gaming running Crawfish to the Bitter End, where I play Shuri Darcy, who uses the Chosen playbook, where all she wants to do, all they want to do is kiss one specific vampire and I guess save the world. So, but if you want to find me, I am Madness Diamond on everything, all the socials that matter at least. I'm also coordinating with Gehenna Gaming to find some paid GMs to run some games for them at conventions this year. I'm also coordinating with Gehenna Gaming and City of Glass Games for Gen Con to run some sex worker focused programming. So if you want to hear more about that, go check out my socials. I've talked about it a lot. And that is it. Damage, do you want to take us home? Please and thank you. Have a good night, folks.